What's up, YouTube? We are back. We're doing a video, but I know a lot of you guys have been asking me to do tier lists, and tier lists are kind of awkward way. I mean, there's so many tier lists over the internet. Just go to Justin Wong's channel and you see like 15,000 tier lists. We are going to do something a bit different. So we're going to rate the characters, but we're going to make a tier list, but we're going to kind of mesh and talk about what makes a good SF6 character to begin with. I know a lot of you guys are probably already gonna be saying Akuma's broken, Bison's broken. I see all the comments. We're gonna do something different, and I swear I'm not downplaying Manon. But also, sub to the YouTube channel. I know a lot of you guys been watching. I know a lot of you guys been enjoying the consistent YouTube videos, and I've been seeing all the comments and likes like that. So, continue to support the YouTube. But let's get started. One thing we have to already get into account, we have two tier lists. So this tier list is from Phenom, the usual suspects, the usual good characters and the usual bad characters. And then even if we go to a tier list, this tier list is from Nemo. Same kind of taste, the good characters, then you got the mids, and then you got the kind of bad characters. This is kind of like the good, the mid, and the bad. So I feel like most of the people would say the bad characters usually stem from like Lily, yeah, I guess Terry. I don't know where to really put Terry. I throw Jamie in there, Kimberly, Dalsim, Honda, Manon, Marissa. Now, what do all these bad characters have in common? They don't have great lights. They have like a different kind of win condition. Also, I feel like they can't just like splurge their meter kind of how they want like a lot of the good characters. And a lot of their offense is very reliant on drive meter. So if we go to like, the good character section, Bison kind of talked to the town right now. Bison gets a lot of damage. Crazy, right? Akuma, a lot of damage as well. I guess Gal could go up there as well. Ken, Geef not mid. That's weird. Cammy, Rashid, and probably Ed. I think that would probably round out the good character list. Jury actually is kind of like the honorable mention. I'm gonna throw Jury up there. And then you got the mid. You got the mids. So these are kind of where like I think a lot of the middle of the pack characters go. So a lot of the good characters are able to kind of just splurge to drive meter. They don't really care about being in burnout. Like I said, Bison does a ton of damage. He literally just shoots out damage a lot of the time. Definitely compared to like Lily and Terry. Same thing with Akuma, shoots out damage. Guile, also a lot of damage. I will say Ken does not do as much damage as, I don't want to play into what Phenom said, but Ken does not do as much damage as like the Akumas and Bison. But Ken has very easy ways to kind of just like exploit not having to use so much drive meter, and also his corner carry is ridiculous, which leads to very high damage situations. Also, if you use EX Jinrai or you get the Jinrai loops, you actually can pump up the damage with Ken. Geef does a lot of damage. Cammy's also on the lower half of the damage section, but Cammy and Ken are kind of in the same boat where like they get you to the corner very easily, and then you're kind of just like you're there. So you got to get out of the throw loop scenario. Rashid kind of do both. Rashid could do a lot of damage with level 2, and he also gets you to the corner very easily. And then Ed as well, kind of the same thing where like he does a lot of damage with level 2, and he can get you to the corner pretty easily. So this is kind of every good character in the game's game plan for Street Fighter 6. All of them corner, die, a lot of damage. The mid-tier characters are like, I guess the mid-section kind of do what the good characters do, but they do have minor flaws. While I do think Ryu's pretty good this season, his Denjin kind of doesn't allow him to really use what makes Ryu. So I feel like Ryu's best game plan is to kind of forget about Denjin and kind of just go in and hold forward, kind of turning like Ryu into like a Ken or Akuma kind of character. But then, like I said, at that point, why play Ryu? You might as well play Akuma or Ken. Blanca's a weird one. He's still good, and Blanca still does a lot of things really well. I'm surprised Blanca fell off as much as he did from the first season, but I still don't think this character is that bad. As for Aki, I think Aki's pretty good. I just think she has some flaws in her game plan. Like, she's still very susceptible to throw loop. I feel like her normals are better, but like she can't really stop people walking back. She's very reliant on fireball, drive rush. Her fireball actually still has a lot of recovery, which is kind of one thing that kind of annoyed me from playing Aki. So I do think she has flaws, but I do think she can just win the game if she puts you in burnout. Some of her flaws are kind of out there. Like, I feel like there are easy ways to tell what her her weaknesses are. Same thing can be said with like kind of JP. I feel like JP's buffs were good from the mid-season patch, the one with Terry, but I feel like they buffed JP's offense and his defense is still kind of like what makes him not in the good character section. I feel like him not having that good defensive option kind of keeps him from being in the good character section. He's just a weird one. I feel like a lot of the characters who are kind of here now, like JP, DJ, and Chun, and Luke as well, kind of got their damages toned down to not be able to kind of keep up with the characters in the good area. So all their damages got toned down, and DJ also not having an Invo level 1 is kind of not great for DJ. I feel like Chun's only weakness is that Lashar dropped her. And Luke kind of just fell off because kind of the same problem Ryu had, where like, if you could play Luke, I feel like you have a better time just switching to like a Kuma or a Ken or Bison. But I still think Luke's, you know, pretty solid in the game. He's not the best, but he's not terrible. A lot of the bad characters just like have what the mid-tier characters have, but they have way more glaring flaws in their gameplay. I've said this a lot. I hope Jamie gets reworked because I played Jamie a bit, and the best way to play Jamie is to not even drink, which is not good. It was kind of like how people used to play G and try to not level up, but that kind of made G kind of bad. I feel like you couldn't play G by not leveling up. Even if you got the person to the corner, getting one level with G was pretty good. But Jamie gives up so much in this game compared to what G had. Kimberly, same problem. She can just get knocked down and lose. A lot of the characters down here also just kind of get knocked down and lose. I feel like Kimberly's like that. Dawson kind of like that. A lot of the characters here's gameplay just doesn't make sense. Manon's probably the best one out of the characters down here. I know people like to have hope, but I do think this game's pretty solved, and I think this game's been pretty solved for a while. I think this game's been solved since like the second beta. I think it's very easy to tell what characters are going to be good and bad. But like I said, I think a lot of the characters in the bad area kind of need reworks. Like, I think Kimberly needs a rework, but I don't know what to do with Kimberly. Everyone thought Terry was going to be good. I don't think Terry's bad. I feel like everyone puts Terry down here because like, it's always the meme with Ryu, like why play Ryu when Akuma and Ken exist? Terry got to the point where it's like, why play Terry and I could just probably play Ryu and get the same thing. Who do I think is top 5? It's like Bison, Akuma, in no order. It's like Bison, Akuma, Rashid, Ken, and I don't know who the last one would be. Probably maybe Guile. I'm still not on the Cammy easily best in the game kind of argument. I don't think Cammy's top 5. I could see Ed, but even at the same time, like, I think a lot of the Japanese players are just scared to play Nutty versus Ed. I feel like you just overwhelm Ed and kind of just win. I think Ed's good if you try to play too passive. But I think this is Street Fighter 6 and you just got to play Ham. And then I think when you play Ham on Ed, you kind of just win. I think if you try to play too passive against Ed, you're just going to lose. This is also kind of what I don't like. I feel like every tier list looks exactly the same. I still hate that about this game. Every tier list looks exactly the same. The only thing right now that's kind of going on is Japan thinks Ed is like God tier. But that's about it.